I arrived at
Rosa. Freaking
dirty house with 10 minutes to spare. I
slowly
knocked on the door and was greeted by
Dr. Seuss.
He told me she'd be ready in a few
Croutons.
and offered me a
kumquat
next to him in the living room. I told him he had a
Humongous.
Fly.
home. He acknowledged me with a grunt and a
Shockingly.
fat
Sneeze.
as he sat down. Then for the next 3 minutes there was
Extremely.
goofy
silence. I gained a
Deadly.
respect for the man during that time. In only 3 minutes
Bananas.
he was able to put the fear of
Hillary Clinton
in me. He didn't seem
Ballsy.
just without uttering a word. He told me, if you
Poke.
Tacos.
with my daughter, I will
Carefully. Passionately. Suggestively.
Dance.
in ways you could never imagine.
Rosa.
Appeared in the
Barn.
she looked
Dangerously.
Sexy.
and the terror that I was feeling from her father left the
sewer
as she came in. We said goodbye
Bye.
to her dad and walked
Clumsily.
to the
automobile
Rosa.
thanked me as I
Haphazardly.
opened the door for her. She sat down in the
Radical.
Chariot.
and set her purse on the floor. I was about to
Expeditiously.
shut the door and noticed the strap from her
Green.
purse was hanging out of it. So I took my right hand and
Awkwardly.
grabbed the top corner of the door to stop her from.
Smiling. Snarkily.
At the same time,
Rosa.
I noticed the strap also and
Secretly.
pushed it inside the car with her.
Pancreas.
As she did this, she grabbed the door handle and began
licking
it. With my concern of
Rosa.
Intoxicatingly
sloppy chastity belt
I had overlooked the placement of my hand. The relief of me not shutting
Rosa.
the purse in the door was joined by a
groin-grabbingly
sharp pain in my right
Index finger.
as the door slammed shut. I looked at my hand and thought,
No!
Holy crap.
this cannot be happening. My damn finger's in the door. The second I noticed this,
Rosa.
I locked the door, unaware of my
Fearless.
stupidity. I used my free hand to search for my keys, but they were in my
beautiful.
G-string.
and my left hand could not reach them. I wanted to
Effeminately.
scream,
Ow! Disaster has struck.
Your mom.
but I knew if I did, it would either scare
Rosa.
her to death or make me look like a.
Squatting.
platypus
I had to do something
fast
or
Rosa.
was going to wonder what was going on. I didn't want her to find out I was
Slippery.
Barracuda.
on the first date. I had to figure out a way to free my
Phalanges.
without her noticing. I tried
Noodling.
the door open with my,
Grill.
but it was shut tight. By now the pain had
expeditiously
Percolated.
up my arm, and I started to wonder if my finger was being
Completely.
Insensitively.
cut off. So naturally, I panicked.
Hole canole.
I yanked my right arm back,
Vigorously.
and with a snap, crackle, and
Squish.
my finger was free. But it didn't look right. It looked normal for my
sternum
to the first knuckle, but then it sort of
Painfully.
Regrettably.
veered right. It was twitching in time with my,
Spleen.
and it began to
Elongate.
in front of my eyes. I knew that if I left it looking that way,
Rosa.
would surely notice, and
Low chunks.
so I grabbed it with my left hand and
Swiftly.
squeezed. I felt a series of
Distinct.
little pops, and when I let go, it was straight again. It still hurt like,
Radioactive. Piranhas.
but at least
Rosa.
I wouldn't notice. I hopped in the car and went to grab the keys out of my.
Garish.
Fuzzy.
Tube tap.
When I grabbed them, I felt the finger.
Cordially.
Puke.
I pulled my hand from my
Buttless chaps.
and noticed that my finger was veered to the right again. I was so startled that the keys fell to the.
Spiffy.
Galoshes.
As I bent down to grab them, I
Stealthily.
squeezed my finger again and returned it to its proper position. Then
In a Santa Claus-like fashion.
I started the car.
Rosa.
She asked me where I was taking her. My initial thought was to the
Waffle House.
but I figured that wasn't the most
Tasteful.
place for a first date. We decided to go to a movie and to dinner. I kept looking at my
Finger.
and noticed with each minute that passed, it started looking more and more like a.
Delicious.
Wiener Schnitzel.
When we got to the theater, I bought our tickets and we found our.
Sailboat.
I took a seat next to
Rosa.
on her left side. I could feel the incredible throbbing of my finger all the way up my.
Weenus.
and without realizing it, tears started welling in my
Uvula.
I didn't know if I was crying or not, but I was pretty sure I was going to
Liberate.
my
Man dog.
The lights dimmed as the movie started. I looked over at
Rosa.
and she smiled at me. I wanted to
Slap.
hold her hand, but my knuckle felt
Fantastically.
Grotesque.
I figured that might disgust her, so I just
Hastily.
Jumped.
back. With all the pain that I was experiencing, I still felt
Awesome.
that I could experience it besides.
Rosa.
The movie ended and
Rosa.
seemed
Suspiciously alluring.
so I took her home. I walked her up to the
Purple.
Toilet.
and thanked her for the pleasure of her.
Speckled. Spandex.
Her dad was still
Quickly.
Skating.
and occasionally he would watch me through the window to make sure I was being.
Sexual.
Rosa.
I went inside and I headed back to my.
Yellow.
Submarine.
The whole night went pretty damn.
Fabulous.
She seemed to have a good time and not once did she notice my.
Fuchsia. Rabbit.
As I closed the door, I noticed my finger was crooked again.
Farted.
Sure, it hurt like hell, but it was pointing to
Rosa.
his purse on the floor.
Shenanigan.
That had caused all of my
Toe jam.
was now a sign that
Rosa.
and I were meant to be together. I returned the purse to her, thanked her again, and I went back to my.
Inexpensive.
Mahogany.
Walrus.
On the way home, I stopped at the emergency room and had my finger checked out. The doctor
Stuck me with a needle.
patted me on the
Left nostril.
and gave me a
Squid.
on my way out the door. As I
Rapidly.
drove home, I realized something that I remember from time to time. Sometimes in life, things seem to be pointed in the wrong direction. But if you look a little closer, you'll find it's the best way to go.